630808.
Mema akwaba biom diba Ghana Today so ewa Ajinkwa TV so enemi a made adwumadi ebrawo medin the Miss Betty Abose onim say edu time say Ghana Today me nkwa me ntimi nya sa discussion nti me wo me guest me pamfa om wo ha om beboa me ama ya twetwe nkomo afa nyama ekoso ewo Ghana ho na other issues are ekoso in our economic sector. Yes, nti me wo Mr. Eric Owaha oye MPP Regional Communication Team Member Ekunfi constituency and Honorable Stephen Donko NDC Deputy Secretary for Gomoa West omnyamo oha ombeboame ama yakasa afanyama ekokoso inti with the 44th anniversary na and June 4th anniversary na NDC June me wa videos bi wa ha inti pese yen hwe na ehu nyama ekokoso before that ansa na any ye correspondent no bechichi nkomo inti patch producer for videos network na yen hwe
there is a little history in the world that a person has laid down his life 3 times for the sake of his people. His Excellency the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings laid his life for this nation on 3 different. There is a little history in the world that a person has laid down his life 3 times for the sake of his people. His Excellency the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings laid his life for this nation on 3 different occasions. On the 15th of May, the 4th of June 1979, and 31st of December 1981. That is the man, that is the legend, our founder, our inspirer, our pathfinder, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, great fighter, rest in perfect peace in the committee of cadets and patrons. May the soul permanent nation imbibe with the values and principles that have been tried, tested, and accepted as the best way forward in building a nation with its own character and integrity. May this perpetual flame keep on. May this light be lighted in peace, and every one of us who believes in probity and accountability. May this flame continue to light in our hearts for us to see a better Ghana, a stronger party, and a united family. So nice. There is a little history in the world that a person has laid down his life 3 times for the sake of his people. His Excellency the late Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings laid his life for this nation on 3 different occasions. On the 15th of May, the 4th of June 1979, and 31st of December 1981. That is the man, that is the legend, our founder, our inspirer, our pathfinder, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings, great fighter, rest in perfect peace in the committee of cadets and patrons. May the soul permanent nation imbibe with the values and principles that have been tried, tested, and accepted as the best way forward in building a nation with its own character and integrity. May this perpetual flame keep on. And every one of us who believes in probity and accountability. May this flame continue to light in our hearts for us to see a better Ghana party. Otuma Bosempa, so nice.
Inti usha videos na nyama ekokoso ewo ejumako. Inti I would call my correspondent na wamaye more info concerning videos na ye hunu na nyama ekokoso. You know, so Edru say 4th June is normally marked. So the war that was between the armed forces and the citizen, the Ghanaian citizen. So this whole June 4th, someone might be asking, say, hey, Rawlings initiated this celebration to bring peace and unity and harmony. In these videos, ne bebrewa pachomo mayen share nyama omuye na ye viewers ne so enhu nyama ekokoso. Inti ene me guest for yebekasa afasa June 4th celebration, that is the 45th June 4th celebration at ekoso ewo ejumako ena ni asan be hye nyama ekokoso other topics ekokoso ena mama so say oba odi obeto electric motorbikes ama okada fo no eno so ye betwetwe nkomo afa sa motor we na obeto ama ni crowfo no, that is his people, we the citizen, when he comes into power. Enya no nkwa yebesa akasa afa Bawumia Oko Central Region. So we would also talk about that and other matters rising. We also talk of the Bank of Ghana. They are constructing a new multi-million-dollar governor residence. That is alleged by Atu Forsen. Inti mayen try when you ba yedi in common beshisheso. My name is guest for no.
Otuma Bosempa.
Ajinkwa to the world.
And the ewiase asetena ayedin Sara so na emunsensem adoso eno ti eden ne wo haw de pa ne wa mane ukodanda eden na etete wa abrabomu wafum obi ana obi afumo waboa oberima bi ana oba bi adum pempenso obi ama na gya wasi wa akofa obi foforo edia ade na etete wa eno nti wunya akonya na wonka ana wonfa obi bone enche no eno nti na Ajinkwa TV ye de dwumadi a ya to ne din se masem nie e de abrewo masem nie dwumadi ye dwumadi bi a ebe boawo ama wanya akonya ama woka nia ehawo ekyere masem nie dwumadi eye dwumadi bi a ebe ma wakonya ama nkosa wafum obi a wapɛ kwan papa bi so na wo de apa ne kyɛw na sɛ obi afom wa wo bɛpɛ kwan soronko so na wo de nipa no fom so e de akyɛ no masɛm ne adwumadie ye adwumadie bi a ɛbɛ boa wo ama sɛ obi ayɛ wadɔyɛ kɛseɛ bi nanso wo hu kwan a wo bɛfa so ada na se sɛ wo ba masɛm ne dwumadie yi so a yɛma wakonya ama wo de nipa na se soronko masɛm ne dwumadie ye adwumadie bi a ɛwɔ hɔ ma wo sɛ ya busuasɛm sɛ ɛyɛ lawyer na wo pɛ sɛ ɛyɛ awaresɛm sɛ obi nsisi wagye wo bi afiri wo nsɛm ana empo sɛ obi de wakɔ gyina amania no ɛwɔ kwan a ɛmfa so ɛwɔ sɛ odi wo gyina so sɛ wo ba masɛm ne dwumadie yi so a yɛbɛboa wo ɛma wanya ɔkamafoɔ bibiri biara a ɛtete wɔ abrabɔ mu sɛ wo ba masɛm ne dwumadie yi so a ya boawo ema dia wabrabɔ no atete asi no eno so ekoda yie ede ma eno nti hia me Nana Hema Khadija e wa Ajinkwa TV so wo bra me ne me mpanimfoɔ atena se na ye bɛpɛnsɛmpɛnsɛm sɛm no mu na ya pɛ wa asɛm no anu yie sansɛm mpanimfoɔ se obi asamsafoa ebie obi asamfo
amanfo asem de da aba ene sen abrani nyina se nyankopon man no ekọ ahohiehie mu a tumfo nyankopon soma no somafo ma ne beje om oye bi wo Moses abreso oye bi wo Yesu abreso oye bi wo komsheni Muhammad nyankopon asumdie nka no abreso ende di akire oye ne wo Elijah nyame somafo ya abreso Ghana ye nyankopon ne man te say Israel ne Arabia na se de ode osom homa ne kronkron bia koma Israel ne Arabia no eduru oman a etoso miensa Assyria Ghana so senti no nyame somafo ya Elijah Malachi 4:5 de osom kese no kware som no eka adasama ebom meyi hu frim Kristofo nkremofo nananom tidie bia wo mu no se wo pa hoto asomdie apomoden onyincha yeye ni mpuntu na dan kwa ma uwu a aheman no wakomu bidia mekamfo nyame somafo ya ne asomdie ntontom som nkambom dema nyame somafo ya se wo ba nyankopon fi a bone fate ayaresa abawo yeye tumidie mpuntu nkunumdie na beya wo de a bebide na edi adanse ese papai omankuto omakawa omanchene no akwantre ne mpaibo dede isane se nyankopon ente nia nipa de nsa ayem se ode ne sa no to so a Luke 4:40 osi esunsunfi ne betutu efiri mu ma wenya wa yaresa ne wabra boyie menyo tinyefo te se Thomas na mo begidi te se Peter na bedi akire te se Barnabas na weni beje te se Zacchaeus asomdie tonton som won finfi mantem Central Region ekunfi otom esa wo Ghana afana ha nyina ene amanone frɛ nyame somafo ya wo ahomaturufo esu 0543 466 275 ana 0277 126308 08.
Welcome back from that quick commercial break. As I've already introduced, my guests are here that they'll be helping me with today's discussion. So I would like to welcome them to today's program. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. How are you doing?
Yeah, me I don't know Bible. Baby, are you okay?
Fachame, mufancha na michine sheda enye papa science. Me blend in the kakra say we okay.
Yes, you ba ya blend no. Nti na wo kana yen new my.
Mo dey better see there. One say
but I believe say TF so better say. So we don't have a problem.
I'm pleading they understand because you know after I yes here. Auntie, I would like to ask, today marks the 45th June 4th celebration, which is held at Ejumaku. So I want to know, according to some of the videos we've seen, or even during their celebration, the NDC, they stated that this June 4th is the mother of the 4th Republic. So it being the mother of the 4th Republic, do you think it has to be celebrated as a nation, or it has to be celebrated as a party? Honorable Stephen Donko, since it's your party that started this, should I say, negotiate? No, how should I put it? Started, right? They brought it up. Exactly. Yes, before we came, it was already in the system. Yeah. So I want to know, is it supposed to be celebrated as a nation thing or as a party thing? Because it's more like, looking at the videos, I don't really know if most of the other political parties are also there to celebrate. It looks like it's only the NDC that are doing it. So I want to know if it's supposed to be celebrated as a nation ceremony or as a party ceremony. So if you could give me your take on that, I'll be very grateful.
All right. First of all, let me thank you and your viewers, and then Ajenkwa TV, for also giving us the opportunity to also be here at this time to discuss issues of national concern. I think, like you are saying, because of viewers, probably we will also like to blend the language, since probably a lot of people might not be used to the English language, and so we'll be blending them as and when we have to blend it. So forgive us when we also do that. We want to also do it for your convenience sake as well. All right. Per what I know, and then also came to hear about June 4th, is basically celebrated basically by the NDC, because people think that it was the NDC that gave birth to the June 4th, or the June 4th rather gave birth to the NDC.
Okay.
Now, in the sense that, you know, former President Rawlings was then a military officer. Now, based on his status as a military officer, a lot of the military officers who were young officers then did not agree with some of the senior officers who were there at the time. They were of the view that probably certain things were going on which they think should not have been so. And so they have to try and find a way of making things right. And in finding a way of making things right, people were not giving them the opportunity. So the only way to make things right was to effect a coup. And so Lieutenant Fred Akufu, then who was the leader, thought that that view in the mind of ex-President Rawlings amounted to overthrowing a government. And so they decided to probably imprison ex-President Rawlings. So in his imprisonment, those who were around him, or those who were together with him, like this man, oh, I've forgotten the name, I'll give you the name. Those who were around him also said that no, we were all planning together, we were all doing this together. So if my brother has been in prison, then let's also fight behind the scene to make sure that he's released from the prison. So a night, which was June 3rd, 1979, was when that thing occurred. So that night, they went to the prison where ex-President Rawlings was, and then they broke into the prison, and then they brought him out of the prison. Now from the prison, they marched him straight to GBC broadcaster to go and make an official pronouncement that he is now the leader of the country.
Okay.
And therefore, everybody now is under him. So when that happens, now the other members who were around him decided that, oh, okay, once he's been in prison and then he's been taken out of the prison, then let's make him a leader of us. So ex-President Rawlings was made the leader of the armed forces team, the team that made coup as then through that, I think 3 months later, they decided that, okay, let's have an election. So an election was also conducted. Another person was elected a president. So when he was also elected a president, things that were going on again did not sit well with former President Rawlings. So he has to turn again and then make a coup against him. So that coup that came against him, I think Colonel Achampong. Colonel Achampong. So when the coup came, now he became the leader and so more or less a president of the state. So that is what we were going through. That was when we were, that is the GFRC period. Before it came to PNDC, the Provisional National Defense Council period, where former President Rawlings was now the leader of the country. He supervised the formation of the constitution and all of those things. So when all those ones were done, now the reign of former President Rawlings more or less was a military rule. So do before complain. So if he's at the castle and he hears that, oh, there's something going on here, probably then he sends soldiers. My friend, then the people go. When they come, first of all, you have to take some slaps before you even answer a question that they give you. So based on that, Ghana, we all decided that no, we don't want a military rule. We want to go into democratic rule. So let's go back into democratic rule. And that is when current President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former President John Agyeku Nkufuor, and a whole lot of leaders of the country decided that no, Now, unless there be emerging of political parties, where political parties will be standing as candidates, and then they will go into an election, and then probably we elect one of them to be our leader. So in 1992, that was done, and that gave birth to the NDC. So it was out of the PNDC era that gave birth to the NDC, which is the National Democratic Congress. And that is why it is seen that NDC is mostly the main architect of the June 4th celebration. But I'm aware that during that period, the celebration period, and then they call or they invite so many people to come around. So what I know, there is a few things that I know, and that is how come we came into democratic process that we are in now.
So that means what they are saying that out of the June 4th, we had the 4th Republic.
That's right.
So it has to be a national celebration. Not only
the NDC.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you agree?
Exactly. That one I agree with you, and I agree with anybody that brings out that view that it has to be a national celebration. You see, even though His Excellency former President Rawlings, may he so rest in peace, even though he was the architect of it, he became a president of the country, and we all know what he did when he became a president of the country. We all know the benefit that he gave to the country. We are human, and human as we are, no matter how good you will be, you might err somewhere. But when you err somewhere, that does not mean that the good things that you've done, the air has taken it away. You get it? So if it has to be celebrated nationwide, you see, the June 4th itself brought a whole lot of changes into the formation of the Ghana as a country. You know, people were doing everything probably haphazardly without recourse to the rule of law. They were doing everything without recourse to the rule of law. And His Excellency former President Rawlings thought that no, we can be in a country where we all be lawless. We all be lawless. And so let's try and gather ourselves so that there will be some law governing the people who are in the country, so that we all go by the law. And that is how come the constitution that we are using, the 1992 constitution that we are using now, it came into force. And that's what we are in now. So for me, if Ghana as a country will look at the positives of the June 4th and then make it that, okay, let's all celebrate it as a national event, so that it will not be like, oh, it's NDC who are celebrating it, so let's leave it to the NDC alone. So when NDC decide not to celebrate it, then it means that there's no June 4th. Meanwhile, June 4th is part of the history of Ghana as a whole.
Okay. So, Mr. Eric, what's your take on that? Do you think it has to be a national celebration, or it has to be only a partisan celebration?
All right. Madam Betty Madase, na me yakọ GBC 1. Yeah, the Tanzania card go for one Tanzania card. So the prepare me you made me I'm not the friends America, so I'm the kuni my phone call GBC. So today my yakano June 4th one my history be about June 4th. And I think say that time we do to the government and our friend SML2, because of how na what the corruption, unaccountability, wombunko ntanchire nkrofo na de wodi bomai. So I think say the whole idea was ehhehye na amembu an record the matter na onye soldier for na Rawlings oda hona no na akono na what about 2 soldier banya na otedo da mabere no oye SML2 na wotu ho fi ho na wobabezi aman no do and you hu de ono na preparation no chere de woye Rawlings one leader, and that brought about the PNDC. Yes, and PNDC babo wo NDC. So I don't agree with the fact say the birth of political party be now how we'll see by babaye that of a national celebration. It is NDC for the word kai. I to say increment for Kai Mohammed now. Or by the back of the Christofuna Ubi Amla na Kai Mohammed. It is Muslims na Waka Mohammed. The same thing so Christian for the big friend Easter. No so do on your national for everybody to celebrate Easter or your Christofuna wedding with the Easter. Inti your NDC for the work kai bibia ufina na bibia was able to. So it is for the party and it can never be treated as national celebration. Inti so me viewer me for them June 4th but yes June 4th na kasa so mo de baya. I think the soldier for the wadrin there what the papa no brofi is also baby before complain. What the baby before complain would go to kataseye proye kankan akontabu a won from bu. But you see adibia so echeche design so there osanso yes enti obey before complain sometimes no so no entum ahwehwe ade no muye no obotum amane webu before wa bra dem nyipa kon no nozifo because of speculations enyim de nyipa no wezi ska another wire boni bi ebi krampo amate no ayeda mo kwan no do na nkaze ne city enti azibia so ya otade force ba no it comes with its own mistakes enti under the penchim there also omana odibotuma afom but yes and June 4th has its own ups and downs but I think say it is a timer NDC for Wadakai bibia wofia wode be bodo damabri so it is purely for a particular party and it can never be treated as a national celebration.
But then I so maybe sir Rollins, no, he did a lot of sacrifices, even though Onoye founder of SDC, but in a way, Emma, we as citizens, don't you think that it would be right at least to say, oh, you're late? He is sacrificing for we as Ghanaians, in a way, but to me, facade, no, as a day, but to me, I can say, okay. This June 4th is there say nyama should I say NDC and I know nyama Rollins affirm with the other military people no inti and you know the military wasn't just there for NDC or MPP, they were there for we as a citizen. Do you get it? Inti, don't you think the sacrifice is no more here, you know? If June 4th is being made as a national celebration or a national thing, it would help everyone as a country, not based on MPP or NDC. What do you think about that?
Oh, yes, and Papa, I'm there. Rollins finally became a president. And them and a Montuna Wutino were one in Shishimono, no, as I warrior no wadabwa or mine. But the fact is, was cool the right option. Was cool the right option. So Ebia as na no or he has one. But quite after the year no, it is questionable. And after if the Mokwano they do a madi no so no, nature so so were people that happy with it. Uncle ma wajem babo bebre for Bona 1 year. As I say. So I think say this the military idea. How they decided to go about it. Currently, me personally, there are a lot of things that I don't like about the military people. The use of force. Yabakaya now say soja nyibi kaswa. Is it kaswa? In a military futisi. Imagine the number of people are military for no train once on by. Were they all guilty? They were not all guilty. Or we didn't make us a new but it will be free. Carry ma or conejima. Na a day or shebi a that tornado. Is that right? There are a lot of instances about military for here civilians, you know. Here now, and there is one advantage that they have. For them, what's there and crying. And when they decide to move in one direction, they all move in one direction. But here civilians, you know, you have been into me yakoda. So we don't move in one direction. So regardless of their number and then the percentage that they constitute, on them they are always united and moving in one direction. What do you want person what do you have here? Of which most of the procedures, and you're right. Say the more time no cool build on some from Bible you are in 1992 democracy and back. Because we realize that a man for what I was it, a woman pay a contabu a pay but through that responsibility and control another. You are not giving people the chance to express themselves. Yet it's wrong. So looking at the problems that is associated with it, it shouldn't become a national celebration because as I speak to you, soft match. Yakaya Obia Dizido. The GF and Wazifi Abrofuno was him. Of course, Nancy is any personal lessons match or there will be. Time man and Musana and Moko primary school. No. That was the time I used to celebrate this match. But I think say currently I don't see this match because I see the beginning. That's the truth. We are sick in the head. And see them independence na GF Abrofuno no for so no. Since I mean who the time no, the problem that I have is this. Enkano na abrofono we use it before here ni ejuma. Ana wadon for so wadu ko wokro. Wadu kai wokro yi. Ente before fa yan wadon there. Azeno ye brother nkra obroyi na bezizi. Ente wo se aban na ejuma no were otrunaze. Enti wonsa enti ye yadon there ye bebo broyi na abor. And you are born to the sense that time I had independence, you will feel the sisters in the years into them mentality now, no one that or the whole ring go him too. And because of that, we are still not doing things right. I and the no China and another they are problems as a country. What I say. So with June 4th. So that Mamekano, it targeted on accountability, fighting against corruption, and no one can because Abina not to be more content will be a more pedoy no but also force now what about the mama here to me mufono so would be a obi bua brain in this case they suspect the scanner will no ebia odoso dodo be say wa for kwan boni bido then this alleged things no o mama ma what so fifi ankasa no krampo ne ho no bia ble odulusi enyama bi fi nsa so I will look at the part that there say ehwo ne yakra na was we search your dakra ehwo na ere etafa enti though it has some problems associated with it but since Rawlings eventually became former president Jerry Rawlings eventually became the president and then the founder of the NDC. It is still right that we see where he was really coming from. Now you to me they celebrating. So it is a pure party program and cannot be considered as a national program because I was confused for June 4th on also hopa.
Quick one answer.
Okay.
You see, may want the year 2001.
Okay.
Abra former President Kufuor, Obaya President, our constitute National Reconciliation Committee.
Yeah.
Or Commission. I think it's a committee, National Reconciliation Committee. And President Kufuor who there because of baby ma yefi as a country I was able to at that time, you know. Yawa no one nkrofu mu no doors. Nti no eka June 4th kra na nkrofu kra bo mpele go beti date no kra because we feel there brutalities another ayewuza wo feel no doors. Nti President Kufuor in his capacity as a president or institute committee though okay SSS no doors another wa back factor papa na former president Rawlings obeye no ntama nkofo ji ya wo honem ntidama as a nation yen nyina yenka yen hommom na yenhwe obi a the member no ye form nini nti so do man mpo ya yin kasa another man mpo wo de compensating besa wo ya impoko na kuma boto ni yema na kuma to ni yem and them commission ba ya wo ye adwuma fine a lot of people nkofu pie wo ba commission enyim wo kasa eni hu de in their cry you know wo bitum kasa na orusu and isusu wo ho so wo se no so ye edu o de fe bia obi no ma hwe ala no papa o so o de ye beyin nti memensu na wa aka ne sina ahye ne ye me wa iboko ne ya ona na papa de fi me no o ye ne ama ne se ne o no so ye beyin nti memensu nti no obi eye o se bemensu nti ofanyin bi tin bo so David wenja no nsina iya no wonimu no o mfi no because say ya no fi no ara that is all on kai ya na wa fam no ibi ndo obaka na on kai ne kase to dem esima oti papa so men father me kwan do na yemfa mbo here the former president Kufuor on so na bado there collectively as a nation ye na ye hu there the wounds that were in at the time were greater o mama o man no ye na yenka ye humbum ekor enti da ma yenka ye humbum ekor na former president Kufuor and obey them and through that I think kakra the fourth republic me so even though you're under military regime SSCB na so ogudo record but ni nature no as a country we need to move on and we have to move on together as one last year ba we born you me na obo no oyem de pa o say oman ye hene man
producer say boss anyu
yes o mo man no de pa oman ye hene man say wo charge ba ya waran wonso wanyi nyimpa nti emi edali wana baye ehwa nti Eric ye the communication member of the NPP I mean me deputy constituency secretary of the NDC but that does not mean that me Eric ya atanfo yeah oye adwenchira ye kire no na so many Eric neze no so meze but sometimes we do point here we all agree to disagree what do baby ni bone e na ya adwena ka ya krodo old mesma yer kanizo ono na yin ni ezo man no ya zuko ina yin enwa ahanti no I think that is good so may I say the conversation you know we'll continue and one day it could be there ebia you put my national celebration or to the mesma ye say ya be na mom ya be hwe there bia ho na order we invite ho no on ye NDC funkutin but all political parties you want to invite the rest from all political parties to be part of the program what about also one for one enumasam one famra also one part of the revolution how they see it also going masama then at the end of the year we are ye na ya tena say oh the masamo is by the masamo is by ye merging it together ye be then is a national progress near the kuyenyi
no my want to be 30 seconds in free way not with the matter 30 seconds in free no I would like to address on one thing on the now say there was some argument here and watch the constitution no one amend no now one change CB1 because the power of the president
exactly
is too much
exactly
now the be a finama ya the buy no when the military took over
yeah
about the to the one man way the way who feel there and Lawrence was a military president and causing him to accept democracy.
That's right.
You have to give him so much power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. So constitution was designed in a way to give the president so much power. It's the meeting the and protection.
Yeah.
So that power made Lawrence feel say okay, now though but as president once I have these powers I think say I'm good to accept democracy. So it was a bit that they gave him the movie from the coup era to the democratic era. So going forward, I think say on time or Obasan will do so that maybe as a change is in to the powers of the president in order because the power no too much so the power can also corrupt you. And thinking about Mama Brother Osunana was wanting maybe more soon in Libya. It is one of the reasons why men die early. Obama it kills you. But about why express you are free. Yes, so I think we can move on.
In some ways, it's Okada riders.
Okay.
They are praising his, should I say, his former president.
Former president, and who is still a fan bearer.
Yes, they are praising him on the motorbikes that he wants to bring. So what's your take on that? I want to know the reason why they are
more happy. They are happy for that comment that he made.
The comment he made, yes, when he went to Ashiaman. Yes, the Motor Riders Association are praising him for that comment. Okay. So I want to know your take on that. Okay. Why do you think they are praising him for that comment?
I started with
can it be that?
Okay, that's
can
good.
it be that he made those comments because we are in election here? Per power, or make his comments, and I say, Oba, Bayer de say, so I'll start with you.
All right. Madam Betty, Mother say, on the with these relations with Okada Fodo, it is not the first time. He made it again 4 years ago when I promised the legalize Okada, yes, in Ghana, and then for the second time was also a promise on how Obama on electronic motorbikes, e-bikes, so that we tumna Obama also on high purchase basis, yes, and I think say e-bikes are good though it comes with its difficulties because it's not that 100%. For example, normal petrol bike, you are off to go. But e-bikes, they spend a lot of time charging them, and then a place that you have to go for them to be charged, and a whole lot of stuff. It has its own disadvantage, but I'm not even looking at the type of bikes in the Crampon. I also have another challenge with the high purchase agreement. You know, say, one shada and shahu farmer loan. Ebia obi eligible loan na other start business no be eligible loan other quarter phone. There are certain things that we treat them differently because phone they are probably no you no crampo you're very high. Yes, the rate at which you go to my own phone say will be pay scour one channel that to TV. Maybe suit to phone. No na crown on first camera. No fan be on first camera. Yes, but you can see say the television will be given more priority than that of the phone because phone they able to marry and I'm looking at the safety of motorbikes personally. But before I'm a full motorbike then I don't have any other means of transport. Yes, we have its advantage, second rented, but the rate at which Okada drivers traffic rules will treat us so. Sometimes traffic hatching no name. No we have I think say with their respect to regulations is one thing that makes me dislike Okada. So anything that will make Okada more in the country, I don't support it. Yes. For the current ones that we have, we have a lot of challenges in terms of accidents. Some don't even have license. Reckless driving. Drivers, the more Okada drivers, all contema bentem rubber baby. So traffic lights across on the way. When you get wounded, caution motor no insurance now. What do you even get? So for Okada operations in Ghana, I think say like I say, we cannot buy a lot of cars, but resorting to something that is too risky. Electric bikes are good. If I have a personal one, let's say between separation be under Musora, riding it is different from using it as a commercial business. And things that will bring more Okada to the nation, I think they will break more safety road safety rules, the reckless driving, the lack of insurance, not respecting the traffic, and a whole lot. I'm sure the results wouldn't be beautiful.
So don't you agree that he bringing this initiative or this plan, or the bar, or making sure say all those rules and regulations govern the road or govern our system, they would make sure they work according to? Don't you think maybe he initiating that policy or making sure say those traffic, giving those respect, not respecting the rules and regulations govern the roads, maybe oba or the sanya money better to hoye? Don't you think so? Maybe a massa accident na ACC no HI.
Yeah, definitely. When we're legalizing it, they will make a lot of rules that will surround it. But currently, Okada endorse no crampono. Look at how even robbers are using it in attacking, even through the traffics. No motion wade. Okada man temukra bike ni betumi area. Nti what if say nipa kono crampono, the whole idea is not to do Okada business, but or pretend so you Okada business just to do the stealing business. Motorbikes being plenty in the country. Okada so baso no bebe na bekoso okrokesin. Akro no mobeye menyemenya. Obi di bone kra na tracking would be very difficult. Because it doesn't need a main road to operate at every place to be far. So I think say electronic bikes are good, Okada they are good to some extent, but making them more in the system will make it difficult for police to even track thieves. Yes, it will make it more difficult for police to track thieves. So I think say going forward, the dreams that you see, they are not the things that you really see, because now cannot premises are so. But I guess moving to a better way, like cars and all those stuff for the Okada drivers, still giving them employment. If it is still on high pitches, giving it to them so that they can be making those payments. It can really help. And young passengers, your safety. I always say accident is one thing that I don't like. Maybe empire is maybe into me. Yes, but say car accident to cry no me obaba na me take car no mo say so dey na to me I will be in the car, but bike the baby there you also somewhere, so bike no.
But then when it comes, it's going to be registered just like the way our cars are being registered. So how would they run if it's being registered? If anything is to happen, they would register it.
They'll register it.
We have issues with this motorbike, as I say.
That is.
But then, if it's going to be registered, a bad day, me face a bad day, say on bed training, because somebody yabonia, it's in the system. It's be on bed, no. Don't you think it can be possible?
Moto is simple.
Cars has been registered in Sana. Moto no somebody bar on bed registered. Don't you think?
Auntie Betty, car trim more traffic lights, a police for channel. It is easy. Also, police wait to match motor across a traffic light. How often?
Maybe when he implements that law or cancel the paper, if you all those things, don't you think so? Say,
the Okada people will be there. Some will be doing genuine business, no doubt about that. But it will make criminals one identification very difficult. obi so they are crying, and he can easily escape. Motorbikes, Ghana has no motorbike I register, but a lot of criminals escape because they use the motorbikes.
But then if it's being registered, Oma register.
Even currently, motorbikes are registered.
Yeah, but don't you think that it's going to be a new initiative or a new planner, projector or day ban? Until this time, when we register, we'll make sure, like the way I register cars, BBC, to make Shaki and to meet Tracy and who say, okay, this is this. So this initiative nearby, or they or we make sure say who here at the Bonia, they'll try as much as possible say. Ombechi, don't you think it can be possible if he implements that law? That is, if he's been given the power.
I think when there are too many in the system, it is very difficult for you to track them. When there are many in the system, and even with the current situation that we have, I think motorbikes should go through a special registration process, because a lot of people use motorbikes for robbery and they go scot-free. Motorbikes. A lot of people have not even registered their motorbikes. They are not even giving attention to. Until currently, even before then, he's saying that when he wins, that is when he will do that. But even now, the kind of dangers that motorbikes poses to us, especially in the cities, when they are then allowed to operate officially as legalized Okada. Not say Omona Manodos. When you say Nigeria, Ghanaians, I think we are learning the Okada Zinagasakra, we got it from Nigeria. Because Nigeria no motayo Okada pa. When you say Nigeria, Aja Obiwaye, Manu so sound no sisi ya own to member no. It is not something that you just try. In the sense that Nigeria now in some states, Waban Okada. Where Okada really started, they are banning Okada because of irregularities and criminal actions and criminal activities.
Nigeria to Ghana, then Felisa on the population is way more than we as Ghanaians. It's a bit anyama omode or ono. If you are Ghana high, yes, anyama intina. If you are that place, it has been banned. Let's
look at it. Because definitely, the number of people. In the Padudu or Nigeria, no. Omodo also in the Padudu or Ghana. Yes. Chrono associate in Ghana. So let's target it. Say, young fans say Nigeria. It is Lagos. Ebia Kumasi. It is Abuja. Town by town. Now young fans say Nigeria. Omabane say Ebia Accra. Nobody should use motorbike. It is banned in that area because of what motorbikes, the problems that the bike men are causing them. Because of problems here, criminals or UC, and how difficult are areas of to me attract on it. Now, the new business has been banned. New business. He's no longer allowed to do that genuine business because of the risk that it comes with. So I think we should learn some things from the people who really started, and then the bad impacts that it has brought upon them, and then we should take our preventive measures not to allow Okada business to be so much in Ghana. I'm not saying when no influencer, but I think a different direction should be given to them so that at least it will help them in moving towards a more convenient and then better place. I almost be to me I live in a but even the stress of being on a motorbike. With a motorbike is no buggy diggy. With a motorbike is no suito. The inconvenience attached. I think say I buy no efaka to castle. Now yes, if there are other things that really has to be done, better ways of giving them employment so that at least say car, let them take car. If mini cabs, let them use the mini cabs. Let the drivers be safe. Let's be the passengers and also yes, we want to know you're safe. And then when motorbikes are really reduced, the few ones that you will see, most of them are private motorbikes, and in this case, you know, we can really trace them when we get to know say 40 binade, and I say if I don't know almost you can easily identify than some of those subebri. That is what I see.
Honorable, but you're watching the I say on motorbike due to Nyama Omodi. It's on by that idea. It's also watching anything.
Okay. Yo, Auntie Betty, that's it. Auntie Betty, may imagine say one. Say Yempo Okada business now has become a business in the country. Now, there say you share as a country, and say a very regulated movement. Now it may regulate movement, you know, in a way say a more laws are a back govern movement now. I think say be also better than who see, because sometimes say oh yeah at the end of the way, and you one you feel so where them maybe and it's the main yen is in mepe. And that is why Sensei John Mahama Oshia Okada riders na wo Ashama ono control mo say me adumna onya the second term or presidency na obehwe say obe legalize Okada business no amomo. Now Okada business no it has its own dangers. To say it's not maybe a direct kind, you know. But you cannot take it away, say, because of anything, you know. My and also there are people Nkophobia also Obi or with the motor AC ho. Now the car see ho. So on fair move back one or motor no jacka. Because of it say no yeah in terms of movement, you know, obeko faster chain car no. And decide obeko fa motor no na we jai car no. That is the Hanipa chrono. Now currently your Okada ever system no more running, but and yet a lot of people and I say and you be a no or feel say Obafa Okada or the Ako baby. But obi so or feel say oh even though there's car or hono, my me for Okada na me for so that make me akwaba. Nti obe timi Ako baby a okono aba na ebi anaka na a scale no afa na car na yama otuko. So it means that we save some time. And so that time now we save no no. So for me, irrespective of me political stand, no, irrespective of political stand, not because it's coming from His Excellency the former President Mahama, who is an NDC, but from the national perspective, I think say a beboye in some way. Now, your friend say other side of it, and also ABR those are the side that former President Yemi Adomna say ultimately we need elections now. Then I say you share that areas, you know, so that you be address the issue. To say traffic rules now there are Okadas, that is very dangerous because maybe I would then also red and now who femuno obidi also green. And say car be besting we not the abo we kunipa and we kukum nipa so I say do court I say when I buy not so na you say meanwhile I buy na catch so we do na we no I say we ni inside na light na so no once we engine na oko one thing na manage pa me call off some time ago Mr. Eric, I was so impressed and happy. Omo use motos no obi at in motor so traffic light omo ina ejina traffic light na say traffic light na ya so green say no omo ina be move together and crowd to say I say way of I say because omo call competition be see light na ya so green almost as say omo move no na fe obi ayako and it was so nice. And I think say you regulating no and I say you legalizing no in terms of registration and you bet me and sir minim maybe engagement former President Mahama or and your friend is saying inputs wenya from probably your friend is saying key policy makers are and nam so no that initiative no but and I mean how okada riders na kasa so the discussion on your mokoye no the full discussion on your moye no how on your moy discuss your motiase ana omani age so obana obeya momo they will also be happy meaning and that too now I think people think so motorbikes you know and as bikes and down no ball heading into na na onye sika in the interim no fan koto into say former president so yemi adom na oba hwe the amount high purchaser it means that it's going to go with an agreement into na oh ade no maybe 2000 but ube yusu ebia 6 months and now 1 year no dey tia into maybe for 200 cedis and 500 cedis bra as down payment na the amount then we agreement the amount no in terms of payment you know na the amount into maybe they see so flexible and very flexible than say maybe over share 7,000 or 8,000 bulk is how the kwakoto okada answer which me you so their year so discussion on your mokoye there for me I think say it's one of the ways a beboa my economy so ebie say yankasa as nipa no ye nyoma yie na ye hwe ye hu yie a nka so many things were here ye betimi aya enkofa problem and say how be embrace but sometimes I na say you feel say you take advantage of the political seasons na aya ye woman because so ukoye na political party at the time no okaka ho asama na ban we de oba na oye say na ban we de oba na oye say mewa aban na hwe say dia wo ye no obe na the right and anything na nam so ye na ye de to aba because ye to aba because ye feel so antibeti ba ABCD antibeti behwema ya ye ne nti ada na antibeti aba o say honorable sa de we man ye na no emboa ye na o man no enkoso me so me say by force no na maye so antibiotic kwa kape sisi ya de antibiotic be president na hwade oye na what I say me wa ono bo say they are person ye na right no ye be na right nti antibiotic I think that the Okada business in general I think it's a good thing, it's a good initiative, just that the modalities are ye be hwa ye be regularizing so that SSS and answer problems be a ebema ebesen creative problem amaye no ye betimi atwene ya solve those problems.
But Mr. Eric stated said when the bikes are more a cause issues, a cause criminal activities. And with your statement, you say okay,
criminal activities, criminal activities we can't take it out.
Don't you think it will be high?
No, I don't think so.
Because if you'll be able to make a motorbike, because it's going to be cheap, then that means okay, so I less expensive. It's my mentor, I feel some people are not able to buy due to maybe the price. But now that it's going to be on a cheaper base, I feel a better common and more beyond JP. So even if you want to do any criminal activities, you can do it. That means the rate in which the criminal acts is a bit does. Don't you think?
No, I don't think so.
It would affect.
I don't think so. By regulation, cars, normal cars that we use. Every the cars call robbery, but that cars are anambwa. Every the cars call robbery. Does that mean a cars in here?
But motor say easily escape.
Yes, but if it's registered, let him say motor number AZ maybe 321 maybe 25 antibiotic there. Yenim ufie yenim adwuma wo de ye so say wo de koye bibia obi be wona ma nan the first na obi be fa nti why me hu so obi ti motorbike na ma we so ane na me hu say o de aba fa hasisi nti ono ba fa hasisi na sa incident we so ebia esi easily we can track the number and then know the owner of the motorbike. And so I won't take it away say criminal criminals will also not take advantage of it. That one is also there. But I think that, and then I make us say, minimum engagements are former president, Mane, other stakeholders are or more that sector no. A year, yeah, or whom you say, so more year that project na ebeboa, or more year Okada riders no.
Okay, call conference
the CEO's conference.
The addressing of the Ashaman.
Yes.
A state is only assembly companies.
I see two assembly companies
are working.
Yeah.
So you think assembly companies necessary are in support? Internal money working.
No, assembly companies need there. Assembly companies in there. DS is to supply the motors.
That's what I'm saying, sir. Do you think they also feel the initiative he's bringing up? You're right.
Oh yes, I think so. One say every company biano before no so better assessor no obey ejuma no. On also show the credibility of the side of the company. Because at the end of the day, say nyama na the bebro say fire there no. O de kwayena and they say ya. And so say on so ejuma. It means that also steps on also be take care of it say a bebo am on so ejuma na e bebo ho ban no. On so obey. And I don't think say probably almost so sorry pe no na omo ebe omo shepe nyama no e dey Ghana because former president can say obesho some be assembly no in Ghana here on by assembly bibia wa ha. No, I don't think so obesho say ombe de bakake no by basambo. Then that is all. But I'm sure omuina in the discussion omukoye no probably no muina share about the economic viability of the project na bano and the benefits of the masses na almost war a no. And two, I think the idea is also to minimize a huge traffics in our cities. But what I say is to minimize the huge traffics in our cities, and that is why again many former presidents are again say or bar probably the capital might be relocated. Wrong. Probably the capital might be relocated, you know. Another region. Remember that region so Etumpong. And in fact for me, all this one my requiring say every 4 years, any president who come, Masa, let's relocate the capital to another region. Now no abuana they be a whole. The next year we move it to another region. By the time we realize almost all 16 regions in this country na baby are impunto alcohol. Na baby are ABA because most of the time na baby are capital no one na developmental focus ni na all industries everybody some baby adwuma na back capital no because of it so a capital and say a lot of people nti baby na kochoku. Nti wo call baby say we used to just about 3 minutes now they call baby crown because of traffic you will be in a queue for more than an hour. Now what mean do here? Nti no the introduction of the motor system no and also a bebwa but we have to look at the regulation, you know.
If you stated say traffic bebwa so person ko baby between the point meaning that say a bar does you know right now that still motor is still in the Okada business is still running. People do not adhere to the rules and regulations governing our road safety. Don't you think say can say if you a bar Ebema so person who could be a contents and adhere to rules and regulations govern your roads
No, and the one say currently I think if I may wrong maybe my brother Eric will help me. Currently I'm aware say because of the Okada business the risk in it at the end currently it is not regulated. Yeah, license say and I say one kasa ukoto there na whole license so there that is all. But as a nation say our policy framework for Okada riders we don't have it. It's more or less omo yo moduma say on a market. So MTTU for they are supposed to be in charge of this situation. And then so big cross red lighter MTTU they have to arrest one other watch that person. But unfortunately, when arrest is made, politicians, well, Obi Kitokada, walk off cross light, na yachino. Ochina, only Mr. Eric, and only honorable dongo. Oh, honorable, made the motor me cover red light mo yachimo. Then, Miss name police district commander no. Na my phone. Oh, commander, nipa na wache no. Oya minipa onti mpacho na some mami. But under better what I say. Then because of the relationship I mean commander went into commander son to me can say they be me yeah. No so okay. Masa na we dey yehwe honorable don call friend me inside there we dey call. Na ye jano off the hook. And then emboa ye no. When those things are kept, then she say yeah politicians and so you say the right is done. Intine ekobese onipa na ya de na ye na ya che no. Oh, even if say you prosecuting for a month or two, you prosecuting for a month or two. You're prosecuting for a month or two. Another person will say, "Hey, ade we na asme si kwa ya de ne kwa tu mu no ntino." Ma me so me hwe say ye bio. Now me nkai say me nkwa kira. Ona okay 2012 election petition. Samia Uku and then the late Sedon.
Secretary.
Yes, Sedon. And then I think Ken Crunchy and others. I brought some court no. Comment to be at my court fee say it was say against the rules of the court. Was it Supreme Court?
For contempt.
Yes, for contempt. You're Supreme Court for contempt. And at the end of the day, I think say 2 weeks or so. You remind them for 2 weeks or so. Well, yes, I know. 2016. Abra, is it 2016 or 2020? I think 2016 or 2020. Abra, NDC lose power. Almost so no. You see, and say court no. What's the comments? Everybody was careful. Say, hey, as some way the man here, you bet him for contempt. And so we also end to me and derogatory remarks here. And then when the regulations are there, a boy na a career in terms of your casa sena say Emma yet to me home. And then when a banner, let's say yeah as politicians, ye giant the rule of law no a yen juma. I think said also a boy.
But that was 2020 elections. Or cancer or legalizing to that's Okada work.
That's right.
But then I feel people were saying so can lose elections. And at this year was akabio. But then before over mama were yen try by the bar. Now that's
okay.
Yes, I have a view. Inti, police and patrol bonyum nyuma ya sana ya twa ya comedy so. Nyuma also.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I'm ready. Okay, so back to the what you were saying.
Yeah.
I was asking say 2020 or can say so ba or legalize Okada. Hey, inti people were saying say no so count no lose elections. And I
Remember I am
Exactly.
Lessons from the song. Inti, back to my question. I was asking, 2020, this legalizing of the Moto Okada work, people were saying, Senuso Kauna, the former president, Elusu election, and at this year, he has come out again. So, and this time, he's even coming bigger with a bigger project.
Yeah.
Don't you think he can, I don't know, he can affect his elections or his, I don't know if I should say his elections.
Okay.
Because people feel bringing the Okada is going to bring high risk. That was what people were saying. And made him lose the election. And now he's coming back again with a different thing altogether about this same Okada business. Don't you think is going to be at a high risk?
Well, Auntie Betty, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I don't think that it is true that it was based on 2020, the 2020 manifesto to the Okada riders that made former president lose the election. I don't think so. Now, the Okada riders as a whole, I think that it's a business on its own. It's a business on its own. Now, every business has its own dynamics and has its own way of doing it. So, the way you do the business is how it generates income for you. And I don't know whether you get me, but how you do the business is how it generates the income for you. So, one, the Okada business is, like I said, now, whether we like it or not, it has come to stay. And if you say that you are abolishing it, it's also another issue altogether. Because when you abolish it, it means that more than 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people are also going to be affected because they are all in the Okada business. So basically, the most important thing is to try and regulate it. I think that when it's regulated, these things will not happen. You see, if you like, let's do a survey and see. In a year, the number of vehicles that get accidents in a year, and how many people die, how many people are injured, and then let's look at a year, how many motorbikes were involved in an accident, and how many people died. You realize that cars are more higher than the Okada, because Okada at most will be 3 people, and that is also wrong. So it is 2 on each Okada.
Okay.
But if you take a car, the least is 5. If you take a car, the least is 5.
5.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a taxi.
Okay.
Taxi take 5 passengers.
Yeah.
And if you go high, Sprinters, they take 22, 27. And we have buses that take more than 50 passengers on a row. So if God does not intervene and then an accident occurs that involves a 50-seater bus, look at the number of souls that are lost.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
So if you do a comparative analysis, you realize that Okada is rather the better option in terms of car. Oh yes, you see, if you are riding Okada,
how is it a better option?
if you are riding Okada, and then 1, you don't overspeed. 2, you ride by the regulation or by the rule that has been given you. It will be very hard for you to get an accident. Yes.
Mr. Eric, do you agree to what he's saying?
Madam Betty, for this one that my brother is saying, I don't agree. I don't agree in the sense that Accra, Okasanoka be for relocating of the capital from Accra, or proposed.
Exactly.
Yes, but Yembi said even as Inter, no way you can move the capital if Accra because Accra yama. Accra is congested.
He stated say a bit be opportunity for employment.
Oh yes, that one is there. When the capital moves to a different place, it gives that place an opportunity. That is a true fact. But before you think of relocating the capital from one place to another, then it means that you have some challenges at where you are. Because so you move a capital now, it comes with a lot of cost.
But then His Excellency Nana-Addo, he came to add more.
Exactly.
Or you feel that one is not.
Yes, no, relocating the capital. Relocating, as the word says, relocating. Not just I don't know what that. Baby Fufro. And with the creation of 6 more regions, Ababa Katan Home and Ghana regions in 16 now. It is meant to create an avenue for sector CBR and as lucky development. Into region CBR break so that that region will be treated as its own region. For example, Ekunfi before 2012, no Ekunfi can in Fantamano. So it was 2012 and Ekunfi 10 Hofi in Fantamano. So in the what as a confantama we know we are the confantama. You are the Ekunfi. But first one the chance no. Ma what the confantama no. Or na no the what chama kakra. Obo bodu yedo. Into the mama imagine what you will get. Obama na Ekunfi puntu na ere akechi. So 2012 time I was splitting my Ekunfi by the own district no. The main idea is to help Ekunfi develop. Now these regions now biaka. The whole idea is that when the region is being separated, and then Yamana acquired the 10 regions, it will be given to 16 regions. Then some other people are getting some other advantages. I think so going forward, no, so you create a 4 crowd 20 krana. I think so it will be okay because Asante region, for example, is very big. As Asante crown is separate, a bifiwa and kebe to me abua. So that one we were
costing
and yet relocating and only creating.
But then also cancel you are saying that the revenue paper almost
yes
some we capital.
No, when you are definitely when you are creating something, it will definitely bring a cost. When you are creating something, it will definitely bring a cost. But the question is, what benefits does it come with? It is a infrastructure or the banner. It would be said, the infrastructure does some town arabana, you move in for it. As I say, but say it's that way, you don't know you or a different. Bobo kawe sidano, but it is good for you. But say it's that could melu to aquapatina for free. That is relocation. Why are you moving? Because you are already in the house. Maybe to aquapatina from being it your own house, another rent. It is coming with additional cost. Why are you moving from your current place? And to say you move your car. The second thing is the development that it comes with. But the first thing is adding a refuel. Refuel because you are not comfortable. And why am I? That is the main reason why you have decided to go to another place. So I want you move you to another place, there is no problem, but you love to stay because of the cost that you try to dodge. And see, relocation, the other places will have an advantage, they will grow. But Accra is currently being congested. And to say America is in Nigeria, there are some states that are banning motorbikes. Places are motorbikes, too rampant. We try as much as possible, say, we avoid one because one control. Why is it? Seriously, never castle Casa for northern region. You say northern region, even their capital Tamale cannot be compared to that of Accra. I visited Sunyani the other time. Unam Kronu Kraefe. Entering Sunyani is a very nice place. You cannot compare Sunyani to Accra. And it's a motorbike say you do Sunyani. And you say you are going to regrade them. It is far easier than bringing those motorbikes to Accra than taking them to Kumasi, a place that a lot of people are already are. And I wish Accra and Ankasa Krampo. Now look at this place where former president, who is also the flag bearer, His Excellency JDM Okoshiawe Ashamai. And the Ashamai motorbikes. Okada or Hopper. But when you say Ashama, you say baby, sir, watch your super. And when you say Ashama, you say baby, sir, Chronoso Koso Ashama is super. Yes, so I see the beer motorbikes itself is not too bad. And one advantages, contemporary them. Nipa ba akotina so na netu. Say eso sha say Okada wo ho na metumi afọ Okada me de aba mu station ha. Because sometimes me go stress him to send them make for taxi. It will take a long time and sana as an ayama. So taking Okada from Eswisha to Oton, it's okay. So that bringing up from Mambo for me there, I'm okay. But in the cities where I want to know the film, and before you realize, if you call it the woman tell me, what pay? Number plate natural, and then don't forget, not to many number plate in about open so it makes it more riskier. Anything I make us say, the beer you share, confirm you share view one time. We start or forbid, we start to reach there. The motorbikes of no problems are what they banner was a banner. It becomes very difficult to control. And most thieves, do the car buckle all right, but most of them in the cities, they use a motorbike, and it is very difficult to chase them. Until you baby are crying, na currently one regularize it, and you imagine one regulate one forbid Okada no Akrana. It is because the government sees that say you Okada musisia the microphone where the Okada no ye wenezban if you weneno. So they are now allowed to operate. Enti aza yen kasa ho na aza ye fodo or two different things. Obi ya the way nje but you decide not to talk about it. That one is one thing. And then you telling the person say kosune is also another thing. Yes, so currently because of the current state in Ghana, into me kasa employment e buso dodo. Enti you cost stop people from doing their Okada. What will you give them? So you allow them to operate. But mission kutupa say the mazia never it will bring a lot of people who are currently not in the business to get interested. After the end the number within the shortest possible time. It will multiply by the order. Take it for example in 2005 when former President Kufuor Omama FQ none war a bankrupt him that and the Baba days you know the Afrobianco school with no school fees. Within 1 year, school no the number of people doubled until the classroom super short. Don't say oh you free no you see the number of people who were going in there. And then realizing that still there are some people in the house after the Wanko school. Then he realized that what was the problem? Some of the problem was women near the Anindi. So he said, I'll give you school feeding. And when the feeding came to add up to additional free school fees, the number tripled. So you see, when you make an initiative to move an agenda, them will know quickly. And if you are not careful, it will get out of hand.
I'm telling you, the next topic. No, we're better me the WhatsApp messages and our text message up a number way. So 0573 709701 0573 709701. Better me the text and our WhatsApp. Okay, so yesterday the Vice President came to Central Region. He was here. He came to Mankasim. So I would like to know, and his theme, yes, his theme was Ghana's next chapter, selfless leadership and bold solution for the future. And looking at the things he said, do you believe Ghana has a next chapter when he comes to power, because he's making us understand that when he comes to power, there is a next chapter for we as Ghanaians. So what's your take on that?
All right, Andrew, Vice President Mahama, Vice President Bawumia
yeah.
in the central region.
Yeah.
I think it's he's going around for campaign.
Yeah.
In a build up to the December 7th elections.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't see anything different that he's going to create that is going to give us a next chapter. That's going to give us a next chapter.
But he stated that.
You see, I have a problem with his word selfless leadership.
Yeah.
Selfless leadership. You are the vice president now. Are you waiting to be president before any idea that you have you bring on board?
Maybe
the president.
He not being the president. There are certain things he might not be able to.
You see,
the president. Maybe what bit media irony. I just want my.
Auntie Betty, I am a Kasa, Vice President Bawumia has not helped Nana Addo.
Why?
Yes, Nana Addo had trust in him. He had confidence in him.
He still has confidence in him. Don't you think so?
I don't think so.
Why?
I don't think so. He had that confidence, and Mr. Eric is here. Mr. Eric is here. Vice President was given the Vice President position, I think 4 or 5 times, if I'm mistaken. Eric is here.
He has been with him for 4 times.
4 times, yeah.
So then I think the confidence is still
exactly. So for 4 consecutive times,
yeah.
that His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had trust in him, that when he partners him to build this country, is going to make him work more and better. And that's why that opportunity was given to him. But what do we see now? 2, the Constitution of the Republic gives him, the Vice President, an automatic position as a chairman of the economic management team of the country. And we all know and agree that prior to 2016 election, the campaign messages, the campaigns that he went around, messages that he went around giving, were messages that people thought that was really going to give a rising start to the economy, to make the economy robust and make the economy more or less rosily for all of us as Ghanaians. But today, what do we see? You see, measures and everything from taxes. He said we have to move from taxation to production. Moving from taxation to production. Today, what do we see? The taxes are more than before that he came to meet. Economic challenges are harder and harder than what he came to meet. Inflation keeps on rising than what he came to meet. Dollar rate is now escalating. You remember he came to tell us that he has arrested Odala and in the room of the IGP. You remember that one? Yeah. Where is Odala?
When he comes to power,
at the time that Odala was arrested, what was the rate? When he arrested Odala, what was the rate? And today, what is the rate? You get it? So these are the things that we are all looking at to measure the performance of the Vice President, who is now the running mate of the New Patriotic Party. And that is why sometimes some of us, when he speaks, we take it that, it's one of his normal speeches that he's giving. That's how sometimes we take it. You see, so if at the time that you are speaking to the people of Ghana, everyday economy, everyday economy, everyday economy, everyday economy, and that came about that when your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. Is the fundamental strong now? At the time when the fundamentals are weak, the the exchange rate was 4 cedi, was 3 cedi 80 pesos at the time. That the fundamentals were weak, were 3 cedi 80 pesos. Now the fundamentals are strong, and it's 14 cedis 78 pesos.
He's just a mate. He says he's a mate.
Oh,
so
but when he was saying that,
so
when he was saying that, he didn't know he was a mate.
Oh, once and not refi.
So a mate. Oh, all right.
Now he just realized that he's a mate.
Okay,
so
fine.
The driver now,
fine. But is he also a mate at the EMC? Is he a mate at the EMT? The economic management team, is he a mate? He is in charge, and he is a leader. He is a chairman of the economic management team. So every proposal that the team submits to cabinet, that's what they work on, and which they agree on before we all come to hear of it. So every taxes that the government has introduced into the system, he supervises it before it goes to cabinet for cabinet approval, and then it comes into force. So whatever he's saying, going around saying, I don't think it's new, and I don't think that it's going to bring a new chapter to the country as a whole, as he is saying. And the selfless issue that I raised, that Nanado looks much more disappointed in him, but he cannot say it. Nanado cannot say it.
Why? Why are you thinking?
Yes, Nanado cannot say it now because Nanado thought that per the word they gave to His Excellency Dr. Bawumia, that he's an economic wizard. If we say somebody is a wizard, it means that he knows better or more than any other person. That is the description that he was giving. So he's an economic wizard, and with all the economic wizard and other things, now dollar is now moving faster and faster and faster. Then where is the wizard? Where is the wizard now? Has the wizard now run away? And when was the last time that you heard former president? When was the last time you heard Dr. Bawumia speak about the economy or raise issue on the dollar? When was the last time?
Maybe on Kasai because we're a bit. So we're a driver. That's his words.
And wait, I'm paying for say agrobo so ofin. What's agrobo so ofin? Agrobo so ofin anapa. Agrobo so ofin anapa. Enti anapa na nkrofo abegom na wo babatazi no. Enyama ne boys em wontum nto. Abren no no botim na akoto. Ana look on my gwetu. Egwetu na nkrofo nyim do. Sisi ade mekwa tomatoes anapa nka menya no 10 cedis in. Sisi ewie na ahina ma apoto. Nti mekwa menya 2 cedis nti mentwa na anadwe na nyama na apoto na ase no na mekwa na menya 2 cedis nti menkoto magufie. No. It's no right from the word go. Vice President, who is now the leader and flag bearer of the NPP, has disappointed his own driver, and even that word "I am the mate" is even more disappointing to Nanado than the trust that he had for him.
Maybe he stated that, as I say, once a bien, maybe we or can driver ninja. It's obviously in Tias Sabia, why nothing, but the driver no ostetia and now or the bar suggested a driver ne emfa.
Oh, antibiotics. Antibiotics.
Yes, as a nebia and any faults. Sabia, maybe a nemono. Or peana servisa.
But is it, sir, Okasa, where you pay nama?
Oh, sir.
Oh, yes, where you pay nama. You see, in paying for war. Kasebi, I said, opesa waka asamboni bi echire penyin na wobuno ebe wobuno ebe a penyin no ebi ono beti asebet akwara ono nte ebe nase no ono onhu dia wo waka wo ka che wo boss so me dem ye mate nti me ka onfa nye adwuma. So the same people come and say that Vice President is working and doing everything. What is he doing that Nana-Addo is not allowing him to do? Or what did he want to do that Nana-Addo is not allowing him to do? Every opportunity that Nana-Addo think that he gives it to him and it will give him exposure, Nana-Addo has done that. Which one again that makes you think that you are a mate? And for that matter, when you are given the steer, you are going to turn a new chapter. That new chapter that you brought alone means that you accept and agree that your boss, including yourself, have not performed. It's an admission that your boss have not performed, and therefore, when you are given the steer, you are going to turn a new chapter. So I don't think it's a new thing. Whatever he's doing or saying, it's just the normal campaign issues that he think he has to say for people to agree with him or probably vote for him to be the president, and that is why he's saying all those ones. But aside that, I don't think there's anything new that he is coming to bring on board that will make our economy different or change. It was the same thing they said in 2016. The sugar-coated West.
Oh, but then he was not your vice president.
No.
But now
he's still a vice president.
he wants to be the president.
Yeah, he's still a vice
So
president.
don't you think maybe when your man is an opportunity?
Oh, but that's what I'm saying. He's still the vice president, and the opportunity is still there for him. There are so many fancies that Nana-Addo has to go, but he thinks that because he's the flag bearer, he has to go. And Mr. Eric said he will agree to that. And so every opportunity, every exposure that His Excellency Nana-Addo thinks that he has to give it to His Excellency Dr. Bawumia to be able to perform, Nana-Addo has done all those ones. So it's an indictment on him to say that he's a mate, and therefore if he says anything, his boss is not taking it. In fact, it's a real indictment on the president, and I don't think the president is happy with that.
Mr. Eric, what's your take on that?
I know he will disagree with me, but there are some too. He will disagree with me, but there are some he agree with me.
I said a lot of things.
Honorable has rightly said, he said I will disagree with you.
You really disagree with them.
I really disagree. I really disagree. Do you know why?
Why?
I want to make this thing straight.
Okay.
You see, the EMC, which is the Economic Management Committee, it is not constitutional that every vice president has to become the head of the economic management team. As a matter of fact, the first person who was a head of economic management team was His Excellency. Once he's late, should I add His Excellency?
Oh.
Former Vice President Emin Sata.
Okay.
He headed the economic management team as a vice president for the first time. Why am I saying that? Because our President Mills Abersono, now the vice president was His Excellency JDM. But now I am Mahama, now you're the head of the economic management team. It was Dr. Godwin Namdi. The team no at that time Krana EAC Economic Advisory Committee ana to be afede me na no moka ho sa we no, but the head was Godwin Namdi, doctor. It was Dr. Pakwese Misata, who was the vice president of former President John Dramani Mahama, and I was the head of the economic management team from 2012 to 2016. Then His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia also became the head of the economic management team from 2017 to date. So he's still the head of the economic management team. But the economic management team, they do a lot of functions. One, to advise cabinets on economic issues. And then two, to implement. Three, to supervise, and other things involved. Until the economic management team can sit down, make a decision. They will present it to the cabinet. But it is up to the cabinet to make a deliberation on what the economic management team has presented. Final decision.
Let's listen to what our viewers have to say. Over to me, they were doing chair, and over to me, a Frey. It was 0535141472.
I think so. You should give me enough time to explain it to you.
Yes,
but my viewers coming now, they will not know what I wanted to say.
We want to also hear from them. You know, we are doing this with them. You know.
Yes, but I think give me some
time.
Samikasa we and I can viewers in because viewers in so I agree. Time after the viewers. Send a go. Okay, you are announcing the phone. Okay, all right.
So that until bet me afraid I was 0535141472 0535141472 and now 02030566672 02030566672 and now over to me they will text message and I will WhatsApp about 0573709701 0573709701. So back to you.
Okay, Madam Betty, I think we are running behind time in team. I mean, movie speed kakra. So yeah, the speed econo. What I'm saying is, His Excellency the Vice President, economic management team, presentation. The cabinet makes the final decision. I had to say, Oko matter this now. Also from plan to me make a decision. The decision is made at leaders meeting. Into a case of steward, what the toss of anima. The final decision is made at leaders meeting. So in Ghana here, the final decision is made at the cabinet.
Okay.
So the
hello.
Hello.
Hello, Dean and a baby out.
Hello.
Hello, Pasha Dean, the baby out for free.
I'm about to call you in the country or something.
Pasha, yet you.
I'm about to okay now, what we want to do is move out of the work. And it's no chance so that they cost put me in here for them. See, that is actually the most in Wakana. I was there, Muhammad,
Oh, yes, yeah, that's it.
so going on, what I'm saying is this: final decision will make you honor. And then economic management team no omo responsibility say decision na omo make it at the cabinet no omo implementation. So once you are the head of the economic management team, you ensure say decision is omo implement it, and rightfully he has done that. Though there are some things like the e-levy, for example, the interview at Peace FM, he said say he doesn't support e-levy. But the final decision at cabinet is say he will implement what e-levy. He has to ensure the implementation.
Hello, Pachaudini, baby of Fifi.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Emmanuel, that is calling from Uganda.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to thank Honorable Sidindonko for his submission very well.
Okay.
I like the way he submits his views and everything. But my question to the NPP man is, if really you are in a group and you are doing something and you know very well that what is the contribution you are giving in a group, you are not taking it. The first thing for you to do is just withdraw yourself, don't be part of the group. After what you want to do, we have an economy now, and after also you are just a driver meeting. Now, let's say now who will tell me that a back stop. Now, let's have a little back stop. No. So I'm just very never again. We can't trust NPP with this country again with our answers.
Oh, yes, yeah, that's it.
No submission in case I'm here on the phone is level. I'm not distracted, but all the same, let's go. So I said, yes, yes,
he wasn't in support.
Yes, at Peace FM with the interview with Kwame Sefakan, he said it. Yes, but when they agreed at government, as a team player, you have to perform your function. But the whole group says we should do that. So you have to support that idea.
Hello. Hello. But your Dini baby of Refi.
I'm about to tell you. I could be Hello.
Hello, Pacha Mitio.
I didn't know the person can be. Now, I will be my now to NBC the country. Bamia and Economina, Economina, to Tiapan. Now, the person said, the mama, the young better of my movie because he had done Yanni, I'm sure she has to answer. You would yes. Only policy pocket Pia, what he told me, Mopia, the two Abaman bin. Yanni, she has fair one, never to Abaman bin, or my country, do a grand pruna, or what you've been doing in an attack. Oh, be a one passenger. Ah, you would have been one 4 years, they are not in there. Indeed, you have myself, master to send this body. Moment your imagination better, may move you. We have to you to near to move you into almost yet.
Okay. Patch your message via
okay,
okay, more message Kakra for Mr. Michael or say, Madam, who will give his or her car to a mate who is not trained by who is trained by a bad driver? and so the MPP man doesn't know what he is saying. Okay, obviously say I don't support. Okay, hello, Pacha Odini baby of Refi. Hello. Hello, Pacha Odini baby of Refi.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Pacha
me TV set no mame. We are science the whole kind of. Am I a bad feedbacks? It's Pacho Ufra lower TV sets no na yam bon komo na into the opposite o culture. Okay, me want messages for have. I say, Honorable Steve, are you sure this motorbike is not going to affect us? Okay, hello. Hello, Pacho Dini baby of Refi. Hello. Oh, producer went to me engineer so. Okay. Okay, Pacho. Hello, Pacho Dini baby of Refi.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, boss.
Hello, good afternoon.
Pacho, good afternoon. Pacho Dini baby of Refi.
Good afternoon, madam.
Pacho lower TV set.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pacho. Me too unka. Okay. Oh, went to me engineer so. Pacho fra lower TV set. Na yenti the opposite all kind. Obi o TV set na am a bad feedback to her enye nti Pacho lower na yem bon komo.
Auntie Betty, as a team player.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Pacho. Hello, good afternoon, Pacho. Dini baby of Refi.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. Okay, it's Pacho.
Yeah, to say America, as a team player, so making sure say you do what the team has collectively agreed to.
Okay.
Until Now, agree say you know, that is what you are supposed to do as a team player. And then His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he has really demonstrated that he's a team player. I don't know, this is not what I wanted us to do. But if a lot of people are saying we should do it, I will be part of the team. I have fiancé and maybe say because I didn't say that I am going to be out. Obanesana, you try to tell everybody that you are the wisest person, and then you will not support anything.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, Pacha.
Good afternoon, madam.
Pacha, good afternoon, me also. Udini baby afrefi.
Hello.
Pacha. Pacha, mon lower mu TV sets no. You be say enti mon kan ti lower TV sets na yem bon komo. Yes, I mean tishe. Okay, so back to you, Mr.
So, in saying that, you know, I am saying His Excellency the Vice President, he has been the head of the economic management team. He's not running away from it because near way to me achieve our Ghana Hanina and the boss opportunity. Without that opportunity, he wouldn't have explored.
I'll get back to you. Hello, Pacha Odini baby afrefi.
Hello.
Hello, Pacha Odini baby afrefi. Pacha etio. Pacha etio nka. Bacho miti nkampa.
TV.
Okay, Mami Kindway. I said, okay, let me read this. This is from Madam Naomi. I see AMPP. So when will you stop all these lies? Okay, so. Okay, Mr. Ben. I see. I think Mahama's policy is the best of all. Let's see. Let's continue.
So going forward, you know, I will say, His Excellency Mahmoud Bawumia. One, Ghana focus or economist. He's now saying digitization.
Yeah.
But he's an economic expert. You can't be a economic expert. Economic expert then so to me. Economics is not about calculations.
Hello, Pacha Odini baby afrefi. Hello, Pacha Odini baby afrefi. Pacha meet you. Yes, yeah, that's it.
Or Russia, can you say?
Okay,
so, like I was saying, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he has really been an economic expert. Economic expert, obi a economist, obi a otumima value for money. So by the implementation of the mobile money interoperability, His Excellency the Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia has been able to use 4 million Ghana cedis instead of 1.2 billion. Look at how much he has saved Ghanaians.
I'm coming. Hello, Pacha Odini baby afrefi.
Yeah, hello. My father, my friend, Imam from Gomason.
Pacha meet.
Now, everything man, all can say this is Bawumia economic aspect.
Yeah.
On the economic year. You know, we are saying you want two things. You can have the theory, you can know the theory, but practically you can be born. That is better man will say on the script man and on the books not to on review. That's what he say. He is good at the practical, so he has totally sold the country. The better man will say he has totally sold the country because we are doctor, and you are good. In theory and practically you can't operate. Do we call you a medical doctor or do we call you a surgeon? No. So all as I said, but we are totally failed and we are failed completely. We don't need him again, never again. So I think that our economic and digitalization, digital offer digital center and YC, and he should just go back to read history. But the other doesn't know anything about economics. Already an interest on your podcast, man. You got number one of your emphasis about. Yeah, the man was the chima said, they all go on over in this year.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Do you agree to what?
That is the main reason why I can't make a submission as an apology because in Kadama Kolanat, me, I'm a person that can answer because value for money now, yes, value for money now, value for money now, and Gusuna Americano. And I'm person make sure my quality of phrase here. What he has to say, true economist. No, but to me, I'm here to make 4 million. Yeah, they are idea and say 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion. What the million? 1,200 million. Into 1,200 million will be the 4. Or the idea and say what 1,200. That is real economics in practicals. This is not theory. And with this mobile money interoperability, to me, now, banker, you don't have to travel to bank all the time, making deposits or withdrawals. Now, at the comfort of your home, to be discuss to bank, to be discuss your accounting without visiting the bank. Then to me, man, to me, your transaction are so cheap, so easier, so faster. This is real economics in practical terms. So we cannot say currently yajitum obi otigana ha bia jitum say sisia no oman ni mo ayede ye ho kire he kakra. But it doesn't mean say enyoma na waye ni na no because of the current situation say ye ho kire ye nti na nyoma papa waye no boda boga na ni na no e say yetumi yede ye hwini na go. It is not right. I was also talking about the digital aspect of it. Now, under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's initiative, this is not what he was doing to represent the Boso. This is a way Amankasa created to do something new. So, under Bawumia's vice president, being the vice president.
Pacha, you have the last but one caller. Pacha, Udini, baby, or Freaky. Hello, Pacha, Udini, baby, or Freaky. It's me, it's not. But I'm a 2 more calls now. Yeah, the call segments now about area. Until bet me a friend. Now I share what dream. I've had the air kick home. And I over to me the messages so about my kind now. I'm out. Yes, okay.
No, I was saying is through this digitization, it has brought about the Ghana card. It has brought about the Ghana digital system. Now each house in Ghana here can be located on a map. This time we will say the digital address. It has made life more easier. And the manner since you are no global world, you go so already. You feel it. Share His Excellency Bawumia contribution in the health sector.
Hello, Pacha. Dini baby of Freaky.
Mr. Selfie, Abuaka.
Pacha, you're here.
Madam, you got to wait. You know what you want. And I won't know. Said we are to tell you, your man look for no, and you will not send. And then this is the idea she will about it in our way defending Bawumia. You defended Bawumia again. Your man, you could, Yamushi, and to about Bawumia. We say that my said, you will and a need 7 years for sure. When you come on, I'm here in my wife.
But I can last caller. Now me the call segment no about area. Into bet me afre. Now why am I last caller? Now Udi wa ginger about that's it. Yankas.
Contribution in the health sector. The introduction of the drone. Etumi amana enyoma ye etumi aye so fast in Ghana. Emergency say yetumi enya eduro and as a blood yedema patient. With the drone system, faster than car. No, to me deliver your man. Look at the lives that it has saved. The first in Africa, under Dr. Bawumia's initiative. So Dr. Bawumia is really contributing. That agenda 111, not concentrating on regional hospitals, but Opesa district to be a hospital, so that the distance from where you are to the hospital wouldn't be too longer. I bet to say any problems. Also.
Hello, Pacha Dini baby of Freaky. Hello, Pacha Dini baby of Freaky. Hello.
Hello.
Pacha Mitio.
Madam Mutindi, only justice, make a finishing Yanni.
Pacha Mitio.
Madam Mutindi, only justice, make a Yanni.
Pacha Mitio.
Hello.
Hello, Pacha mi
Oh,
TV. Pacha mi tonka.
Thank you for the school grandpa. Now, a bruni that was very bruni. MPS John Mama pension on $1. 3 CBA pesos. Now, I'm and to about $1. Now, I'm confident no the key number IDP. None or $10 15 CBA. And then you try to clean I now. Both of the fire and one of the fire. Kenny Biano. We NDC power. And one of the time APBS power. And to win your ready.
Yo, Pacha me da say, inti Hana made a phone-in segment near Bessie. Please, I would like to know your last or your final word.
So let me end with my submission. So in ending with my submission, I say His Excellency the Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, no contribution in Ghana here no. Yen to me embuno totroba biem. Centering say in economics he has done something. Digitization wabono homode. Yebano healthcare, the introduction of the drone system wabono homode. Yen share 275 ambulances and the district the ambulance taking care of the sick. Yen share agenda 111 trying to get a hospital for every district. The way omunya ambulance and so omunya hospitals are no yen to me from boy hobra. Yen share the new inclusive system. Yen share Zongo Development Fund. Yen share Kaya Yofua. Na say we see the yamom. Say lebe ya ombetumi esua insanu djuma because empire him obetumi akoso asoa de. You cannot continue to do that all the time. Omo sanso ma insanu djuma omo wi amo asa ma startup capital that you are going to use to start your own business you from the street and giving you a life. Yes, NAPCO, Tama, Yebaya, na Unemployment Association, it was NAPCO that eliminated it. That contract, it was a contract. NAPCO was not permanent. It was 2 years, I mean, standing in the court 3 years. And look at the opportunity that it has given Ghanaians. So Ghana for another in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he has really contributed a lot. Okay. But currently, the truth is, Ghana, inti ama yebufu. But we should not look at ebufu nunku anayanto neyama papa nengu because papa na wayano e do so say we 100% but we bomb body.
What's your final words?
Okay, until that say. Well, first of all, before my call last words in account, but I think
say
we have to put on record.
Instead of me submission.
I think I have to put on records that Ghana Card is not an initiative of Bawumia. We have to put it on record. Ghana Card is not an initiative of Bawumia. Bawumia came to meet Ghana Card in the system. Ghana Card was started by President Kufuor time. I had my own Ghana Card from President Kufuor time, so I have to put that one on record. 2, I think that the economy is what we are using to measure Vice President Bawumia as against what he said when he was coming. And Ghanaians, we have seen that what he said when he was coming is entirely different from what we are facing now. Okay. And that's why we think that His Excellency Bawumia cannot lead us again into the promised land, but rather His Excellency John Mahama, who is coming as a second time Messiah, will be the next choice for Ghana, and I pray that Ghana will all support him to be able to make that meaningful decision. On that note, greetings to all our cherished viewers. We acknowledge all the contributions that they brought. Where we erred, we also make our corrections, and we thank them for the input that they all brought on board. Thanks to our national executives and consensus executives, we are thankful to all of them.
So I'll give you 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. So with my final greetings, I will greet my brother. And then I cannot leave this place without greeting my own mentor, Nana Kwesi Nyame. In fact, his contribution in the Kumfi here and Mbadodo Awono, he has more than 200 children.
Hey.
Yes, not all of them are biological, but how he's mentoring the youths and putting them at places. The man, in fact, Yanyanododo or Kunfi Hanomake Kunfinti baby ayeti. My menchi and the business partner, Nana Amoisi, or hen our abor. Then I will also greet my PC Okumkom. Okumkom Ebebo Kunfi. Kunfi had the Sradans, yes, he had the youth naba opportunity. Let us support him and then give him the chance to save. Maminchi ame MPP executive sina. I want you mapa where let's share woman be often they said only your brain TV na kofu bebrebe bogu. They are really watching Ajenkwa TV. Into Maminchi a said ne shop wo yes ewo share quite of na Maminchi a hen asha funi nyina and then my lovely wedded wife Lydia. Amen.
Okay, iti Hannah be my yedi coin yes. Hannah remember my coin yedi jumedie we your sponsors Asunje Tuntunsum School Ghana Asunje Tuntunsum School Ghana se ope se onfa obambra na onya knowledge wisdom no Fanibra Asunje Tuntunsum School Ghana. Ubetimia from was 0243 44864 0243 Ena Asunje Tuntunsum also kanwa almost sponsor ye. Ubetimia from Messiah. It was 0277 126308 0277 126308 and now Ubetimia friend was 0543466275 0543466275 Debia you can say Ajenkwa TV yedi nyama papa bebrem nti debia share Ajenkwa TV you were Ghana today you were the hero's journey eba so debia Saturday from 8 to 10 p.m. you were Esumasem as is here starting free Wednesday that's nyame bo ochina from 8 o'clock p.m. to 10 p.m. you were masem nie so bibi how so bia you boni bi so bibi wo ho a opese on kan share odofo no obetimi ade obetimi aba Ajenkwa TV na ya kan ho asem na ya more wisdom more knowledge to the way obe tackle with issues and no yes Saturday 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And finally, your telenovela, Life Revelation. Life Revelation is a nice movie. I would urge everybody say, Ubeshe, because nyama power and back from Monday to Thursday, 6:40 to 7:40. Now, the chat no, I finalize it BBA on Friday, 6:40 to 7:40. Mr. Eric, ni Honorable Stephen, me that's say, your friend mobile, amaya chichin komoi. Me amedi jumedi April me amedi jumedi April no me din Miss Betty Abose and I'm a producers Millicent Nana Sari and Ben Midamase MCR Darko Gideon Energy Yadamunya say the bia mutayechi and executive producers my one and only manager Nana Digi. I thank you so much for this opportunity. And Odiamaye Nana Hima Khadija Medamunya si and I see you that said debia utayechi and at my sweet mom Medopa you're watching thank you.